Hey guys, WWII1225 here. Today I'm going to be talking about Enemy Front. Now this is a World War II first-person shooter that's going to be come out early in 2014, and I just wanted to tell you guys all about it. So I'm really excited for this game because I love World War II shooters. One of my first-person shooter experiences was playing Call of Duty Finest Hour, and that was like 10 years ago. That was a really long time ago. But that was a great game. I just love World War II shooters. It brings back a lot of nostalgia from playing the really early Call of Duty games, and I really am just so excited for this game. So let me tell you guys about the story. So the story takes place with you and a couple other guys behind enemy lines. They want to get away from the whole grunt scenario where you're like invading Normandy. You know, a lot of World War II games have the same sort of battles over and over again. You with a whole bunch of people, and you're just an average grunt on the field. But what Enemy Front wanted to do was put you as more of a special ops soldier behind enemy lines on a special mission with maybe just a few other people. So you start the game in France and you move to south of France, and in this village you find intel that reveals a larger plot, and the rest of the game you're going to be focusing on stopping whatever the intel led you to. So after that you're going to move to the Eastern Front and then go to Norway. They really want to expand through all across Europe, not just the places that we've seen, like I said, like Normandy or Berlin. They really want to get a larger scope in this game, which I think they really did. I'm really excited to see Norway, and all those places sound really awesome. So let's talk about the gameplay now. So they really talked about the gunplay. They said the gunplay feels really solid. The guns have a nice kick to them. They feel really just fun to shoot. And from watching the gameplay, I have to say the gunplay does really look really awesome. They have 28 guns in the game right now, and a lot of the gameplay focuses on scavenging for supplies. Now, you are behind enemy lines, so you're not going to get like supply drops. You have to find every weapon you use, and after every level, you're not going to get resupplied. So you really have to find every gun you use, all the ammo you use. You're going to have to pick up from dead people or find around the world, which is cool. So in terms of the enemy you're fighting, there are two types. There's the grunts and the scouts. So the grunt is more of the average soldier, not so good at shooting, and the scout is more of the elite soldier. They'll try to flank you more, and they'll actually, if they're being overwhelmed, they'll run into the sort of like the woods, or they'll run away and try to get more people and bring in reinforcements, which is a really cool thing that I'm excited about. So another thing they mentioned is that the environment has really good destruction, or pretty good destruction. It's not like Battlefield 4 level, no towers are falling down, but a lot of the cover can be blown away, a lot of doors and windows can get blown away, and that's pretty average for a game. But a lot of the cover in the gameplay, if you watch it, gets taken away while the guy's behind it and he has to move and readjust. So a pretty good amount of destructibility is in this game. They also mentioned that you can play this game kind of stealthy. From the gameplay we've seen, I think a lot of people are going to go guns blazing. I think it's going to be really hard to do stealthy. But they did say there's some stealth element in it. They haven't really gone into that a lot, but they did say that you can play stealthy with a knife and sneaking up behind people, which is cool. So now let's talk about the multiplayer. So from the sounds of it, the story mode really is the center of this game, which I really like because, like I said, I love World War II first-person shooters, especially single-player campaigns. But they do have a multiplayer, and the multiplayer only has one game mode, and that's Conquest. So it's kind of like Battlefield's Conquest, where teams are fighting to capture objectives. They did say that the level design is more sort of a corridor design, really sort of a linear fight. They wanted to do this so it's really just like one side versus one side going at each other. And that's kind of cool. It's really interesting to play out. I prefer larger maps, or maps that have a bit nice flow where you can lots of flank routes and stuff. But we'll see how the more linear level design plays out. We'll just have to wait and see about that. But another thing they mentioned is that there's no level system. You're not going to get perks or new guns. When you log into the game, you're going to have everything at your disposal. You're not going to unlock anything, which is kind of cool. They wanted people to be able to come in the game and just be able to play it and just like play it as little as much as they want, but not have a disadvantage for not playing it a lot, that's cool. I like a level system. I think lots of first-person shooters put it in the game for a reason, but I'm not mad that there's no level system. And from the sound of it, the multiplayer really is sort of just an additional thing they threw in there, not like the center piece of the game, which I like. I think a lot of first-person shooters need to focus more on the campaign and less on the multiplayer, so I definitely don't mind that. So that's pretty much all we know about Enemy Front. The game is going to be released in the spring of 2014, and it's coming out on PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. Now, I don't know if this is coming out on the next-gen consoles. They haven't really said yet. I'm going to be going and doing more research, and if I find out anything more, I'll let you guys know. I would be weird if it didn't come out on the next generation, just because, especially in the spring, I would expect a lot of people to have the next generation. So if a game is coming out on the old consoles, I would definitely expect it to come out on the new ones too. But again, that's all they've said, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 and PSC. So we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, guys, tell me what you guys think of Enemy Front. Tell me if you guys are excited. Tomorrow I'll be making a video on Project Spark, which is a game where you actually kind of make worlds and make games inside that world. And I'll tell you guys all about that tomorrow. On Tuesday we have a review of Borderlands 2, How Marcus Saved Mercenary Day. And other than that, I don't really have any more videos planned out, other than on Saturday we'll have our Elder Scrolls Online podcast. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, make sure you subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.